Yes guys, this is nearly last and welcome. In this video what we're going to be doing is another class setup video. This time guys we're going to be focusing around the XR-2. Now in this particular class setup we're going to be running with no optic whatsoever. As you can see, we're not going to be worrying about the ELO sight or the red dot sight. Now the main reason for that personally for me is if you can run without the actual red dot sight or the ELO sight for this gun, you make room for another attachment so you can still got plenty of perks. This gun is even more dominant than what it was before. Now, as you can see, the iron sights maybe are not the actual greatest in the game. They're probably one of the worst ones that you can actually get. But for me, once I actually had a good few games with it, just running just like this, they're not in the way that much. You know, they don't really cover that much of the screen up. I know you got that bit of the circle there, just sits in the middle of the screen, but you can still see your surrounding areas and what else. So there isn't that much need for me personally to have to worry about sticking on a red dotted sight or anything else like that. It just takes up that little bit of extra space. So if you can run with the iron sights, for me personally, I highly suggest you doing it, and can make room for some more attachments and making sure you get all your perks as well. So let's first of all look into the rest of the attachments that we got as well, and we're going with quick draw. For me personally, especially with burst weapons, we want to be making sure we're getting those shots on, especially as you can see I'm playing quite aggressive. I'm playing up into the enemy spawn, and with doing so I definitely going to be needing to try to get this weapon up as fast as I possibly can. Then we're going to be moving on to rapid fire. Now rapid fire just makes the burst go quicker, but that in turn is going to make the rounds between the cycles between the rounds go that little bit faster, and that is quite essential, especially if you're not putting people down in the first round. And maybe sometimes if people set upon you rather quickly and they're jumping around, might take you a few bursts to actually sit them down. So this rapid fire is going to come into play, especially up into these spawning areas. Then we're going to be moving on to the next one, and that for me personally is high caliber. Now I absolutely love high caliber with this gun. Now because it's got a vertical recoil, so it tends to kick straight up in the air. If you miss with your first shot and you aim towards the body, the chest kind of area, you start with your next cycle. Quite a lot of the time what you're going to find is this gun's going to kick up straight up into the head area, and you're just going to get a nice easy headshot and you're going to just down the person straight away. So for me, this particular weapon is fantastic for actually getting headshots, so I would highly suggest sticking on high caliber. Then for me personally is extended mags. Now the idea between extended mags is just that because we're playing up in the spawn, because we're going to be playing aggressive as well and things like that, if we're going to cycle through these bursts a little bit faster and maybe we're missing our shots, we just want to be making sure that we've got plenty of ammunition in our extended mags so we can put say 2-3 enemies down at a single time and still have enough ammo to actually miss a few shots along the way. So for me, that's another pretty much givey, and that is actually all the attachments that we are going to be sticking on the XR-2. That is going to be the 4 attachments. Now moving on to the perks. Now because of my playing style in this particular game mode and everything else, what I'd like to be doing is sticking on Ghost. The idea is because I'm going to be flanking around up into the enemy spawn, I'm going to keep moving as much as I possibly can, and the idea is that in that way we can just flank around, just try and catch the enemy by surprise and just down. We don't want them constantly knowing where we are, especially when we're up into their spawn. Then we're going to be moving on to fast hands. Obviously this is going to complement the quick draw quite a lot, so we can just get this weapon up and give us a great chance of getting these bursts onto them. Then moving on to the third one. Now this is another bit of a gimme, especially when you're playing up into the enemy spawns, is dead silence. One, it makes your footsteps silent so that you don't have to listen to it. You can concentrate on other footsteps around you. I mean, if you hear footsteps and on your mini map shows that none of your teammates are near you, you know your enemy's there, and you should be able to just pick them up. Obviously if they're running with dead silence, that one is a little bit harder, but for me personally, if you're going to be playing up in the enemy spawn, you want to be playing aggressive, is probably the better way to go is with dead silence. You can also swap it out for maybe like blast pressor or something like that. This is a bit of a personal preference, but you, like I say, you can swap it out, use something else maybe to suit more your playing style, but for me personally it's got to be dead silence all the way. And that is the actual class setup, and as you can see in this particular gameplay, it worked extremely well. Doing the slaying for my team helped us win the rounds. Everyone's getting their streaks, and we just went on and just absolutely destroyed. So anyway guys, this is just my rundown on the XR-2 with the iron sights. So I hope you enjoyed this. Coming up on the screen now is the actual class setup for you guys. So stick this in your creator class, go and try this one out, get used to those iron sights just for a little bit. I know some of you might have actually done it when you've done some of the challenges for Dark Matter, but trust me, this is a very good way to go with this particular weapon as well, and I will be back with another XR-2 class setup with the actual ELO sight as well. But anyway guys, this is my little rundown. Coming up on my screen now is my subscribe button. Make sure you're jumping on that, and guys, if you drop a like on this video, support my channel, be even better. This is nearly last, and I'll catch you later.